Hello. The thought of having a natural disaster big enough to level half a town or a city is a little scary, I know. But in the year 1889, on the days of June 6th to June 7th, the people of Seattle, Washington, over the span of 12 hours and 15 minutes, had nearly 30 blocks burned to the ground. All because of a fire that sparked inside of a nearby carpentry shop due to an overheated glue pot. The fire raged, and the timber from the shop and dry summer air fueled the flames. It took over an entire block, but only when it reached a local liquor store did it explode, literally. The shop burst, using the alcohol as a kickstarter to take over the next few blocks. The air being smoky made it theorized that the fire was started in a paint and varnish shop, which was destroyed in the aftermath. The next few months consisted of being an entire district less than original. The city of Seattle lost the entire business district and had to rebuild the buildings 20 feet above the original street level. New, entirely brick buildings had cost the city nearly $20 million in today's money. During the same summer, another fire hit the city of Spokane. On August 4th, 1889, the Great Spokane Fire sparked, leading to the worst disaster in the entirety of Spokane history. Just after 6 p.m., the fire started. This fire would take the entire commercial district of downtown Spokane. The fire was projected to be put out pretty quickly, but the city had other plans. A problem with a malfunctioning pump had led to there being no water pressure in the entire city, leading to devastation. The reason the fire started is still unknown, but theories believe that it started due to a fire in a lunchroom, a heated-up curling iron, and a spark from a passing train. The especially hot summer had made the conditions perfect for some things to spontaneously combust due to the really dry soil and grass surrounding the area. The land surrounding became more able to produce plant life, leading to a quicker than normal recovery. 30 years after those fires, in the year 1910, the deadliest avalanche in Washington state history happened in the small town of Wellington, Washington. The 9 days that they had to bear were full of 30 centimeters of snow falling every hour. The town was covered, and on the 9th day, 11 inches of snow fell, the largest amount of snowfall that they've seen ever. There were more smaller avalanches, but none were as bad as the one I'll tell you about. On the 28th of February, a large chunk of ice and snow broke off the side of the mountain surrounding Wellington. The snow, 10 feet high, a half a mile long, and a quarter-mile wide, had begun to make the terrible avalanche. 96 in total deaths were caused that day. 35 passengers on 2 trains stuck in the depot. 58 Great Northern employees on the trains, and 3 depot workers were killed in the midst of the avalanche, and the trains were hurled 150 feet off the side of the hill. The avalanche was caused by a lightning bolt, which struck the side of the mountain that borders Wellington, leading to the destruction. A recent wildfire had also caused the avalanche to no longer have anything to attempt to slow down or stop it. 30 years after that marks the year of the Olympia earthquake. The quake being a 6.7, 8 people died and a minimum of 64 people were left injured. The quake had damaged the 8 buildings on the state capitol campus as well as the old Capitol building in downtown Olympia. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapsed, leading to the injury of 2 men, and the whole damage in general was estimated to be anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. The quake was caused by the Olympia fault lines, which led to the land shifting and the city of Olympia getting a very large and a very bad earthquake, which was felt all the way in Idaho. Typhoon Frida was a bad typhoon that hit the PNW and a small bit of Canada. The typhoon reached a Category 3 with a high wind speed of 115 miles per hour, leading to major damage to housing and tree removal within the surrounding regions. Typhoon Frida is considered one of the worst extratropical storms that has been recorded in U.S. history. 46 people were killed in the aftermath due to many mudslides. Wednesday, April 5th, 1972 was the day that the Portland-Vancouver tornadoes struck the 2 states of Washington and Oregon. The deadliest of the 4 tornadoes that struck that day was an F3 tornado, a tornado with 150 mile per hour to 200 mile per hour winds. The tornado led to 6 fatalities and 300 people being injured. This tornado was deemed the deadliest tornado in all of the PNW history. The damage from the disaster reached over $25.25 million in total damages, with trees felled in the streets and housing ripped apart from the brutal winds, leading to over a mile of land covered by barren tree stumps and holes where trees and stumps once lay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main the evening.
Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it!
On the morning of May 18th, 1980, a call came in from a volcanologist by the name of David A. Johnston. Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it. These were the final words of the 30-year-old who died in the eruption of the infamous Mount St. Helens. March 27th marked the first earthquake that led to the big eruption. 2 months straight of having random earthquakes happen every 2 days, ending up with the monstrous mountain bulging on its north side. The once basically twin mountain to Washington's Rainier now had a massive bubble formed full of gaseous fumes. The mountain had been building up to an eruption, one with the same force as 21,000 atomic bombs, being dropped all at once. Early May began the journey, leading to the mountain concave. A week after, when the bulge reached its largest mass, the mountain exploded. The land beneath the bulged area gave out, and the entire side of the mountain slid down. The slide left 600 feet of debris in the North Fork area of the Toutle River. This catastrophic event had left a devastating future to come for the next few hours, weeks, days, and even years. The lahars that happened due to the disaster left many rivers surrounding completely impassable. The few ships that were already in the river were buried and destroyed, leaving little to no survivors. Spirit and Coldwater lakes were completely covered in ash until efforts got them cleaned up. The volcano had taken the lives of 57 people and left many people without a home. Out of the 57 people who died, the most notable were the two of David and an 84-year-old Harry R. Truman. Harry had been interviewed a few days before the eruption of St. Helens. He ran a resort on the shore of Spirit Lake. His words in said interview are, "If the mountain did do something, I'd rather go right here with it," he said. The mountain erupted, and his remains were never found. He died with the house and the 16 counts of inside of St. Helens' eruption is still being felt by people today. The area of effect was nowhere close to just being a few miles surrounding the mountains. The eruption, again having the force of 21,000 little boy atomic bombs, had sent ash all the way over to the state of Colorado, having almost a half of an inch fallen in the state. The ash, which looked like snow at first, was especially felt in the city of Spokane. The people there were covering their mouths with their coats and driving to get to their homes for safety. All in all, the eruption, the people, and the land which were affected have all gotten healed over the last 45 years. St. Helens lies as a once beautiful mountain in ruins, and the land around it scarred over from its last eruption. These are the 7 major disasters in Washington's history from June 6, 1889 to May 18, 1980.